We're trying take 2 of our live explanation of what happened at today's San Bernardino County Board of Supervisors meeting on May 1st. Facebook ate our first version. So I apologize if you're watching this again, but we're going to give it one more go, see if we can make the technology work. At the Board of Supervisors today, we did a lot of things in a relatively short meeting. The first item was to approve an agreement with the Public Utilities Commission, not an agreement, but we're going to ask for funding, $2.8 million in grant funding from the PUC to provide high-speed, reliable internet to the community of Lytle Creek. This is in my district. It's a small community in the San Bernardino Mountains, and because of their isolated nature, they don't have reliable internet service. In fact, if they're at home there, if some of the residents are home there, they can't actually watch what we're doing right now. So we would like to get some funding to bring reliable internet access to them. It has become just as critical a public works infrastructure as water and as electricity. We have a United States Forest Service office up there that provides the public safety and recreation oversight of the Lytle Creek recreation area, and we need to make sure that they have internet access too. So we're hoping the PUC will fund that grant and we'll be able to get that connection to the Lytle Creek residents. We also approved an agreement between the Cal State San Bernardino Philanthropic Foundation and Arrowhead Regional Medical Center, which is the county hospital. This agreement funds tattoo removal for previously incarcerated individuals. When they have tattoos on their face and hands in particular, it's difficult for them to find jobs. But we know from evidence-based research that a previously incarcerated person who is employed has an 80% less likelihood of reoffending, being incarcerated again, or needing the social and public services that are paid for with your tax dollars. So this foundation money from Cal State will help Arrowhead provide this laser tattoo removal. Depending on the size and shape of a tattoo, it takes about a year to get one completely removed, and then the previously incarcerated person's job prospects improve greatly. We also approved a contract with the Community Foundation of Riverside and San Bernardino counties to fund our annual Give Big program. This is an opportunity for nonprofit organizations to take part in our collaborative fundraising day online. And a lot of organizations have really used it to increase their annual giving. We provide training for nonprofit organizations to find out how to maximize their donations and get their donors and new prospective donors to their pages on that day to give. If you'd like to be part of that, click on the link below and we will set you up with that information in the training. Last year, we raised some amazing amounts of money for the Rim of the World Educational Foundation in my mountain communities. They raised over $16,000. That's going to go to support youth in the mountain and give scholarships to mountain residents to go to college. The Unforgettables Foundation, which is an incredibly heartfelt organization, they fund funerals for families that have lost kids and babies. They raised over $6,000 to help with their efforts. All in all, we had over 100 nonprofit organizations participate and raise over $315,000. Click below. We would love to include you. We approved an agreement with the City of Fontana to develop a storm drain that's a critical component of the West Fontana Channel. Now, the West Fontana Channel itself is a bigger project, very much in need. If you've ever lived or driven over on the west side of Fontana, as I have, you know its need in rainy seasons. We have some rains and flooding there that inhibit the railroad tracks, traffic flow, endanger residents, flood businesses. We need to get that taken care of. And this agreement today gets us one step closer to that. It's about $58 million in total cost and work right now with the city, and they're going to be able to get started on it very quickly and hopefully have that work done within a year. Speaking of floodwaters and drainage, we have an issue in the mountains here. If it weren't so cloudy, I could turn the camera and show you exactly where it is. But you've seen it. If you look at the Arrowhead Resort, that's Arrowhead Springs Resort at the base of the mountains, and go up and you see the arrowhead, you might also see something up there that you mistake for the arrowhead. It's actually the erosion that came from floodwaters being diverted from Little Bear Creek back in the 1950s. They took the water off of its natural path, diverted it through the Rim Forest area before it was populated or developed in the 1950s. And over the course of the next 50 years, the erosion that occurred from that diversion severely damaged the face of the mountain, caused landslides, put lives and water quality at risk. So we're now going back and fixing that. This agreement today allows for additional environmental work that's necessary to get that water back into Little Bear Creek through Blue Jay and into Lake Arrowhead in a safer way, both for the environment and for human beings. We also gave some raises today to our grand jury. These are folks who serve voluntarily to investigate government agencies, not just county agencies, but other governmental agencies. They act on complaints filed by members of the public or by employees. They oversee or ask questions that other folks ask about particular services, agencies, or funding, and they follow their own ideas about whether a government entity is working efficiently and correctly. They come out with reports that gives policymakers like me good questions to ask and opportunities for improvement. It's a voluntary position, and we're always looking for new people to do it every single year. But up until now, we've only paid $25 a day plus mileage, and that is a lot of sacrifice being made by the folks who serve on the grand jury. Today, we took action to give them a raise to $40 a day, but the board expressed that that's still not sufficient. We've asked for an item to be brought back where we can increase that amount even further, maybe to $50 or $60 a day. If that work sounds intriguing to you and you're not put off by that low pay amount, I encourage you to apply. There'll be a link below. We're always looking for people who are willing to serve on our grand jury. And finally, the board took action on a project that has been around for 8, 10, 13 years. I've even lost track myself. It was for a radio tower to be put up in the Wildwood Canyon area of Yucaipa. It is a single wooden radio tower. It's been the source of a great deal of community debate about the aesthetic impact, the impact to Wildwood Canyon Park, impact to the radio services provided by such a tower. Debate has gone back and forth. I listened to the arguments of my colleagues as well as to the hundreds in the community who have come out and talked about this or written to me over the years, and ultimately decided that the tower should move forward, though I have a feeling there's going to be a judge in between the decision we made today and the ultimate development or non-development of the tower. Sometimes that's how government decisions go. Thank you for joining me here today. If you have any questions about county government or you're a second district resident in need of service, give us a post below or call us. We'll be happy to be of service to you. Thanks for joining us here today.